and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 519. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, and the man who is no longer an intern is back this week. It's Crash.
I'm so glad that I was invited again for a second week.
No, you're back full-time contract.
Oh, full-time?
Full-time contract, yeah, you're back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we had your employee review. We decided we don't want to do this on our own, so we need a third. So
To be honest, I was hoping I came in and crashed and burned, and they were like, we don't need you anymore. You're free to go.
You thought that was your out, didn't you?
Yeah.
You finally thought you found a way out of this. No chance. And the voice you were hearing before is, of course, the one and only, the man on the ones and twos. It is Mr. Paul Despawn. Hello.
Hello there. How are you doing?
Nice arms.
Thank you. Audio listeners, you're missing out.
I gotta say, this is the hottest this podcast has ever looked right now.
And that's just a heat level, not my arms.
Yeah. If you don't know, in the UK, it is extremely hot right now. And before I hear it from you Americans that are listening, or someone who else who's in Timbuktu, all right, we don't care. I don't want to hear about what it's only 31 degrees over there. Oh, blah 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 blah. Our houses are made to keep the heat in, and we do not have air conditioning. Yes, Crash?
I just want to say that sounds like you guys were very dumb, and it explains why you guys went out of your country to go to other places, because you guys didn't know how to build your own houses. Just saying.
I mean, I would say it's more. I would say it's more the fact that we are a country that was built on inclement weather for many years, and then, hey, have you seen the world crashing and burning around us and global warming?
Crashing and burning,
melting the ice caps.
You know what that sounds?
Killing the penguins.
That all sounds like
penguins.
It really sounds like you guys should have taken like two like very important words that I think we all need to learn to take to heart and just live by, and it's called get good. You guys haven't done that, and I think that's the issue.
So you're telling me the sun is actually the main Souls boss right now? Is that
exactly? We got to get up there and deal with it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, roll into it. You have to roll into the sun.
Roll into the sun. Okay.
Roll into the sun.
Roll
You'll be okay.
Dodge those heat rays, baby.
Practice those parries. Yeah. Get out of here, son.
If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast right here on youtube.com/myxboxandme, and of course all podcast services. If you'd like to support the show financially, patreon.com/mcfixer. Get the show early, get some extra goodies. I do want to bring back the monthly game nights, because I really enjoyed the one we did, to be fair. So I've got a docket of things I've been working through and some ideas. We know we still got some goals we got to do. Tricks, if you are listening, I know, relax, calm down, chill. I know. But we got big things to talk about this week, boys. The next Xbox, the next generation of Xbox has officially been confirmed. A brand new deal and announcement was made with Xbox and AMD, and they are promising a lot of goodies. I've seen Twitter just absolutely on fire over this, because everyone's sort of dunking on each other. You've got like the Xbox fans that are like, yay! And then you've got like PlayStation fans like, oh, I thought you were getting out of hardware. It's like Xbox have never actually said they're getting out of hardware ever. Like that's never been something they said. I'm actually very happy that they've come out and announced all of this. But to go through a few of the details, let's get into it. So, quote, I believe this is from Sarah Bond, if I'm not mistaken, announcing that we're building the next generation of Xbox first-party devices and cloud, including our future Xbox consoles, together with AMD. We're established a strategic multi-year agreement with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox, Microsoft said. To carry on the quote, together we're delivering deeper visual quality, immersive gameplay, and AI-powered experiences grounded in a platform designed for players, not tied to a single store or device, and fully compatible with your existing Xbox games library. Ending quotes. This is big news. Xbox working with AMD is obviously a huge move for them. This is obviously something that they truly believe in, and like they said there, I believe this is going to be. I think this is going to be a big deal, more than maybe when making the next Xbox is a great thing, whatever, cool. I think Xbox moving forward as a hardware supplier across the board, this could be huge. What do you think, Respawn?
Yeah, I think obviously having a partner this early on to like focus down with is great. They can obviously mesh out exactly what they want to do with the hardware. I think the weirdest like thing is just like the last line in this is the biggest takeaway for me is just them like fully committing that it's going to be compatible with your existing library. So something they've done for a while now, but like showing that they are going to be like just obviously backwards compatibility is going to be fully supported, which is good to see. They've talked about it a few times now. Preservation is like one of their main like key pillars internally. So it's good to see that that's going to be part of this. I'm also interested to see the AI powered experiences and how that's going to work because there's been like obviously things floating around for a while now, not just Gen AI, but like obviously using AI powered learning and like obviously most NVIDIA graphics cards are powered by AI for frame sampling and things like that. So it just see if they bring that kind of stuff to the next gen as well. But yeah, all in all, this seems like a good thing. I'm excited.
I think the big takeaway from me was the not locked to a single store and things of that nature they're talking about. And they're talking about that in conjunction with Xbox. So does that mean we're going to see this new UI that we've seen for the handheld is very much built on like, hey, buy your games wherever you want, play wherever you want. Do you think that means we're going to see that now in the next Xbox?
Yeah. I mean, like we know we're going to see it from the handheld. And I'm assuming my educated guess is that the handheld is like the testing ground for what the next console UI is going to look like. And again, it's getting to that point with the console generations now where they are like almost coming neck and neck with low-end PCs. So at some point, it's basically going to be a PC under your TV. So if it can handle things like Steam and GOG and all those other things, I think now's the time to do it in this next generation.
I think the biggest proof of that you can see from that is actually the Steam Deck, where you have things that are Steam Deck compatible, where you can have like, let's say you bring your Steam library over to Xbox, even if it's on Xbox, and it's like, oh, these are device compatible if you run like the Steam version, where it's like you can get the Xbox version that's specifically made for Xbox, or you can run the Steam version, whatever. It's a lot less on their end issues. And we've seen that be something that you can like sort of get around on a lot of the handheld devices, even Asus's own handheld devices, like, oh, this game runs great on it, this game doesn't. So you've seen that sort of flexibility already sort of show itself. I do think that it's a good sign they're going at this early, because it's in a weird way banding past just Xbox again, where it is they're trying to be less and less just this is Xbox, we got exclusive games, all this stuff, which they've been doing for a while, and this is just another feels.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a step in a direction that I am fully just happen to get on board at this point, obviously. No, I do like it. I think if you look across the consoles, right? You look at Xbox, look at PlayStation, look at Nintendo. They are all dramatically doing extremely different things at this point now. Mm-hmm. Like, you do have 3 different approaches. Xbox is very much now a non-exclusive console, very much focused on Game Pass, third party, and play your games wherever you want, however you want, to the best of your ability. That is the marketing strategy. That is what they are now. You've got PlayStation that are still very much they're not delivered lately, but very much seen as the single player, AAA, first party place where you go to play those experiences, and then if you want them later, you go and play them on PC. Now, later could be anywhere between 6 months to a year. We don't know at this point.
Even less.
And that's always changing. I would say.
The Arc System game, which is partly being made by PlayStation, it is 100% funded by PlayStation. That's day and date with PC. I think
sure. It's been Helldivers 2 was day and date as well, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think they've said multiplayer is always going to be like day and date, and then day and date, and then single player will always be exclusive for a period.
Concord was on PC, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
For like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I didn't know how long the game existed. It's just that it was on PC.
And then you look at Nintendo, which I feel like they've gone to Nintendo are just Nintendo, right? They're just like, hey,
we're
Nintendo.
Yeah.
We do what we want. Like, we got a Switch 2, and you're going to feel really guilty about buying it after you bought it. But I promise you, DK, Donkey Kong, it's going to look dope, and you're going to want it. So don't worry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But I do feel like they've got three different strategies moving in three different directions, which was always my argument, as much as my argument was very much like, I buy consoles for exclusives, which I did. Now I think it's I buy consoles for different experiences, and we are pretty much getting that now between the three different manufacturers.
Yeah, they're definitely split in like three different ways. Sorry to interrupt you there, Crash, but yeah, it definitely feels like they're trying to get a unique selling point to themselves rather than have a direct competition. I think we talked about it in the past where Xbox have said that they don't view PlayStation as competition anymore. They view things like streaming services as competition. And I feel like that makes sense when you think about this. Whereas like, we're not going to try and compete with like first party exclusive games that are, only available on an Xbox. It's like nowadays, like, we are going to give you the option to access what you want, where you want, when you want. And the idea is to sell the ecosystem rather than the console nowadays. And I think that's probably a smarter move in the long term.
Yeah. I think I would kind of disagree on the ecosystem over the console with this move.
Okay.
And to a degree, the ecosystem's still involved, but the way I see this on having the Steam library, we've constantly talked about like how PC players stick to PC. But now if you are a PC player and you've always thought like, it'd be cool to have a PC hooked up to my TV so I could play my Steam game, my Steam save, whatever, with the Xbox. Depending how it works, we don't know how, right? A lot of this is just like hopefulness to a degree. But if it works like your Steam library is directly a one-to-one, you can play whatever, your save files go over. Then it is, I can get the Xbox for my living room, not as an Xbox console, but as a Steam player, as that sort of like that TV PC that people have always wanted and talked about.
But it removes the barrier to entry there for
yes, 100%.
For you to go, oh, I really want to play Rematch, and that's on Game Pass, but it's going to cost me £20. Maybe I will just grab Game Pass and play it there, and then it's like they've already knocked that barrier down, right?
It makes that ecosystem engagement easier.
Absolutely.
And it's
absolutely.
Like, if you're a Steam player who's only ever played Steam, but like Crash says, you get that Xbox because it can play your Steam games on your TV, and then all of a sudden you see the advert for Game Pass is like, they do a deal, maybe like £5 for your first month for 1,000 games that you can play for free, and it's just like, I mean, I'll get that first month for $5. Why not?
I don't like the idea of £5 for the first month, but then you play for free. That means it's not free, Despawn.
I know what you mean.
That's not how math works.
I know.
That's not how math works.
That's how it would be advertised, to be fair.
I know that's how it's advertised, but that's not how math works. I want people to understand.
Yeah, smarter as people than us will market it better, that's for sure. But like, that's how they'll do it. They'll do that whole thing of like, play all your games that you already own on other platforms right here. While you're here, you might as well check out Game Pass, Maybe, you know what? You buy the console, we'll chuck in a code for 30 days of Game Pass.
Yeah, you would have imagined, right?
Yeah,
you imagine that would happen. Newer cans already, there's probably some sort of deal with newer cans as it is, but yeah, I think I do think it's a good, it's playing to Xbox's strengths, let's be honest. They were always the PC people. So now they have just pretty much gone, okay, we are the PC box. Let's just be the PC box. It's not a big deal. It's a home console. And it's kind of a PC, and we'll see when it gets marketed and we get to see this thing, if it's at a good price point that is under a price that isn't too crazy for PC as well, there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to be like, yo, this is worth grabbing. So yeah, time will tell on all that sort of thing. What sort of price point would you, if they put this, let's put things into context, right? The handheld is going to cost, we believe, £799.
Yeah, that's for the high-end model.
That's what we. Sorry, I'm talking about whatever the X version is of whatever this next console is as well. So that is at £799 for a handheld. How much does the next Xbox cost? Now, they do usually take a hit on consoles, way more than they're going to on something that is third-party marketed like AMD. So the cost is going to come down lower than that, but not by much.
I have a question if that'll be the case.
Oh,
because if you're including Steam library, you're expecting. If I was Xbox and Xbox has better numbers than me, I would expect to take a hit on people buying first party games. And then how does buying Steam games on an Xbox work? Well, do they get a cut of that?
No.
Yeah, no. See that? Yeah, like Crash has raised a good point, because the idea is generally you take a loss on your hardware because you come back on software sales. If you are now releasing an Xbox that technically doesn't need to sell software to play games on it, where do they take that? Where do they make that money back?
Well, I would assume their argument would be Game Pass, right? I assume the argument is
Game Pass makes
get them
enough.
through the door.
Yeah.
Get them through the door, and we're gonna see the conversion in some way, shape, or form. Which I do actually believe they will. I do think you're gonna get enough people that are gonna come in for it as a multimedia gaming device, and I think that's how it's going to be marketed. By the way, I don't think it's going to be marketed as the next Xbox. That will be obviously in the forefront, but I do think just like the handheld, we're going to see the Battle.net, the GOG, the Steam,
what you're going to get is the way we had the everything is an Xbox. You're going to get that same sort of like advertisement and push, except with all the different launchers. It's going to be like,
you're
going to open up the Battle.net. That's an Xbox. You're going to get Steam. That's an Xbox.
Is everything. Not everything's an Xbox. An Xbox is everything. I like it, D. Bolton. Give him the money. Give him the money. He can market it for you.
There you go.
No, I agree.
I think that'd be the case. I think it'll be very much a case of they'll market it as that multimedia thing. How much will it cost though? Is a good question. I mean, for it to be able to run most Steam games at launch, if we're talking like maybe 1 to 2 years down the line, it's gonna have to be like somewhere close to 1,000, right?
You ain't saying no console for 1,000. A PS5 Pro right now in the UK is £650 to £700. So let's put that into context of like, okay, so you're probably looking at the same price as the handheld, I would say. $799.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think do you think they come in with 2 different SKUs?
Yep.
I don't think so.
I think they do.
I just don't.
It works so well this generation for them.
Sure, but now you're asking this device to do something that no device has ever done before, which is run things off of multiple different stores. Now, I think a GOG is going to be easy. I think all these other systems will be easy. Steam is the big one here.
Yeah,
you're pretty much asking it to be a PC. That is pretty much what you're asking it to be. You are asking it to be a PC.
The argument with that is it is going to be 2 SKUs in a world where there are thousands of SKUs when it comes to PCs.
True, and I think that's a fair.
My
issue is, are you going to buy this?
Yeah,
go on.
I was going to say, for me, it would be a case of like, will Steam games be backwards compatible wholesale, or will be like we say with the Steam Deck of like, this is going to be marked as a compatible game for the Xbox, whatever it is.
I think,
and then future games will be able to plan for that SKU for their benchmarking.
I don't think they promise every Steam game will work. I think it'll be like the same way the handheld will be out at that point. We'll see really with the handheld and how the handheld does it. But I would assume they market it the same way that a Steam Deck currently works. And not everything will work, but you can access your games on that. They're not going to go into specifics of what games work. They'll have like clear indicators. So they're not. I really think Xbox will be very big on not trying to trick people into it. Of like, these are a list of games that work and games that don't work.
I agree.
You might have issues. But I don't think it'll be the case of like the consoles need to run everything, and that's why I do think you could have 2 SKUs. And it makes more sense than having 2 SKUs this generation.
Yeah,
and we got 2 SKUs this generation.
Because what they could do is they could say you've got your Game Pass specific, like first party, whatever it is, third party console manufacturers or console developers games that will run on both SKUs fine. But if you want that added experience of everything everywhere, get the high end version.
I think you got that, and then I think you both touched on a great point, right? Like, technically, they're saying the launches are going to be there. They can't actually say the games are going to work. So, but a workaround by that would be able to do like the Steam streaming thing as well, because Steam has that as well. where you could technically be, oh, you've got a PC, you could stream your game from your PC upstairs down to your Xbox downstairs. Technically, you're still able to access your games via the store. There's so many ways that they can market this in a, I hate to say it, but in a scumbaggy way, where they don't let the everyday person quite understand what they're buying. Xbox haven't done that in a very long time, let's be honest. Or maybe ever. I don't think I've ever bought an Xbox or seen marketing for a console from Xbox and it hasn't done what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
So
I can't think I've ever been
original
like felt ripped off
box one day, but I think it was just more so it's like it wasn't what people wanted more than it.
I was gonna say I don't think
it wasn't really like.
I don't think we knew what we was getting. We didn't like what we were getting. I agree.
I agree. But that's the closest I can actually like think of something like if you wanted to.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Let us know in the comments though what you think of this new Xbox. And if you've got any questions, let's get them in. Appreciate it. Boys, should we move on? Do you want to add anything else on that, or should we get into what's been in our box?
I do have.
I was gonna say I had one question. Will you buy it day one?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, through gritted teeth, sure, but not like. I think I'm in the same place now as I have been for a really, 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 really long time at this point, where I'm like, I mean, I'll say it like this: if it does the things of which we're talking about, yes, I'll buy it day one, because it will then it becomes a secondary device for the living room, which I then perfect, that works for me. If I can stream Resident Evil 4 from downstairs to upstairs and it works flawlessly, no problem. Like if it means I don't have to right now to play Resident Evil 4. And I know it, third world problems, I know. But I have to use my laptop and then plug the HDMI cable in. No, I know.
I'm wounded.
No, but
I know what you're saying. It's the simplicity of it all.
There's certain things that just don't work on it. Like, man, this sounds so lazy. But like I have to get up off the sofa to then put it into full screen mode because I don't have a wireless key. I know it sounds stupid, but it's little things like that. I'm like, would I pay for that luxury and I have the new Xbox? Yeah, probably, if I'm being honest. Through gritted teeth, but probably.
Fair. Crash?
Probably not.
No.
You play PC exclusively now, though.
Yeah, that's almost all I play. I don't like my Xbox and my PlayStation barely get turned on.
See, I'm in the boat of Crash. Like I don't remember the last time I turned on my Xbox, and if I did, I think it was accidentally because my controllers synced to it by accident.
But I would argue you're about to have a baby. Yeah. So I would argue that you're not gonna be able to be at the desk to play games. I think we're gonna go, nah, I think we'll get hands using it for a game there. Yeah, good luck with that, bud. I think it's very much, it's way more easier to have a baby on chest and controller.
He could have a controller plugged into his PC right there.
Sure, but I think he's going to want to do that but I think you're going to want to do that on a sofa more than you are in a computer chair.
Or if that baby accidentally tips over, he's landing on that sofa. He's not.
Nah, this chair is much more comfortable.
Okay, no chance. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. But
shout out double chest.
I think. All right, that's yours.
Yeah.
Someone clip that. I need to show that to someone. But yeah, no. What's the other question? You had one more.
Crash.
Yeah. So we talk about the possibility of Steam games working on Xbox, right, through the Steam launcher. If it does end up working that way, do you think it disincentivizes certain developers to not be on Steam? Or do you think Xbox views it as, we already get a bunch of games that don't end up on Xbox, this way it guarantees more games end up on Xbox, and it becomes less of a reason not to invest into the ecosystem as a user?
That's a great question.
Both are true, and I don't know which one is more.
I think that's a great question.
Yeah, I think both. Yeah, both have the ability. See, for me, the way that I think of it is going back to my earlier comment about like they'll be having to like develop for a particular SKU with the Xbox regions to work on Steam. Why not just release it on Xbox at that point as well? So like I could see more games coming to the Xbox library because of that. Because if they're working on a SKU, then go on.
In my mind, they put in less effort to work on the SKU than they do for Xbox. Because you have to remember, like, if you go on Xbox and they do the two different versions of the Xbox, and that's reliant on them doing that, which we don't know if they're doing. You'd assume Xbox would be like, hey, it has to be compatible with both.
Yeah.
Whereas if it is a Steam thing, it is like, doesn't have to be compatible with both. It's compatible whichever one you want to try running it on the other one. You can try. It just probably won't work super great. It's a lot less on the developers.
With the Steam Deck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
that would be
you have the tick, but you can run games on it that have not technically got the tick. They just might not work properly. So, I don't have an answer for you right now. I think
tune in next week.
From my gut, I think I would probably go no. I think it would still just be a case of like, okay, cool. I'm not going to change the way we're. I mean, developing for Steam and PC as a whole is just so different from just console. Like from people that I've spoken about, certifications and things like that, it's just so different. So I don't think it would change anything in the near future. Maybe if Xbox changes the way they cert things potentially, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very strange.
I hope that Xbox do, just as a tangent, like I hope they do change how they cert things, because we've heard many tales about their certification process not being great.
Well, I think they have to change, right, if they're going to do this whole open platform, because to me, they're leaving the door open to lose a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, Game Pass is always going to make money.
Yeah. But
what they're doing is a risk. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, potentially, and I'm not trying to like be drama, but this could be the last Xbox if this does fail, and this does sound like a big change in the way. Well, yeah, maybe not a Hail Mary. Xbox is always going to exist, but in the console space, this seems like a risk.
This is set up where they can sell a lot of consoles, and depending how the whole Steam thing works, they could not be making a lot of money back on it. And Xbox could see, like, you'll have great Game Pass, but Xbox still makes money off of people buying games on Xbox and stuff like that. That's not magically gone from the system. You could be losing that whole path of revenue, possibly, with whatever this decision is.
Very true. All right, boys, let's jump into what's been in our box. Krish, I see a list of goddamn games that you've been playing.
I've played a good amount of games. We had the Summer Games Fest. There was a whole bunch of demos and stuff that came out with Summer's Game Fest. So I tried quite a bit of stuff. First up, Hell Is Us, which is I want to call it Souls-like. It's not really.
No. It's
not really Souls-like at all. But yeah, I liked it. The game gave me lots of despawn. Have you played it? Did you play it over there by chance?
I did.
You can correct me if I'm wrong on this. It gave me a lot of Resident Evil vibes when I played it. And going through, you find medallions, you go back, you open doors and find secrets and stuff like that. And it's a lot of this is the way we talked about blueprints. You need a notebook with blueprints. I felt like you kind of need a notebook to do this to a lesser extent, but I do feel like there's a lot of like, you saw this here, the map will tell you the areas they're at, but not where exactly you find them. So maybe that's me just overthinking. Yes, I would call it old school res. I don't know what that qualifies as. So
no, yeah, like you kind of know in your mind, you know that the diamond door is over in this hallway, but it doesn't tell you where the diamond door is. But it's still sort of it sounds like it. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like for the puzzle elements, I think it's got that kind of like Resident Evil-esque feel to it, like say finding items that unlock areas and give you secrets.
Yeah.
Combat wise,
that's all I meant by that.
Yeah.
That's I didn't mean anything else with the comparison.
But it does give me kind of like a little bit of like Elden Ring kind of like slight combat, but not quite as like FromSoft like that. Like it is difficult, but it's not unmanageable. I feel like it's more of a melee Fallout than anything else as a whole. So you're going off solving missions, and then obviously you've got the kind of melee combat. I do love the whole like it is very like there's no kind of like signposting at all. It's like there's no check mark, there's no quest list. Really, it's very much a case of you find an item, you have to remember where it goes. It's all very environmental, and I love that.
Yeah, I like that in playing the demo. It's probably also one of the things I was most intrigued by the demo, but it's also one of my biggest work with the full. Like, how is that experience in a full? I don't know how long. I don't know if they've come out with like the length of the game, but 40 to 60 hours or 100 hours or whatever it is. How does that experience take over that long course of time? Am I going to find stuff at the last chapter where it's like, oh, I can go all the way back to the beginning to unlock something, but where do I go for that? And all that stuff, I think, can be a little overwhelming, but I was pleasantly surprised by what I did.
Yeah, I feel like it very much, in the demo at least, obviously, and we'll take it with a pinch of salt because it's just a demo, but it very much felt like the items that you felt the reason for that item wasn't too far away. Like I found like a secret medallion that opened an area with some chests in it, like maybe in the like 2 areas over. And there's the very small areas when you compare them, they're all interconnected, but it is quite small. So yeah, like it wasn't like you'll find an item and like 20 hours later you'll find the reason for that item. Like it was very like felt very contained in those kind of secrets and things like that. So I'm hoping that the majority of it is like that and it kind of like expands a bit more on everything else. But yeah, again, we'll have to wait and see when the full game comes.
Agreed. I have also played Possessors. They had a demo. This is a Metroidvania game. I don't remember the team that's making it. But it is very cool. I want to say post-apocalyptic, but it's not really post-apocalyptic. Demons have come out of hell. Get the full setup of the game, but you play a character that loses their legs, get possessed by a demon, and you go to try to find your family / help the demon. The premise for it, visually, it's a pretty game. It reminds me sort of like Transistor-ish visuals. It's not a 1-to-1, but it is that sort of like very artsy art style that I think looks good. It plays fine. I enjoyed it. I don't know how hyped I am after, because I was looking at this game because of the visuals. I don't know how hyped I am after the gameplay. Looking at it long term, I don't know how much that game goes. I also played Morbid Metal, which is probably the funnest game I played in this whole demo season. Morbid Metal is a hack and slash roguelike game where you have 3. I think you can have up to 3 characters. I think the demo only has 2 characters. And as you're going and clearing out levels, you'll unlock abilities that'll change how the characters play. It's a very, very fun game. It's very stylish. I don't recall if it's coming to Xbox. I know for sure it's coming to PC. That game I will definitely be playing whenever that does drop.
Shown at the Future Game Show.
Shown at the Future Game Show. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I have Joe and Mac here.
You did not play Joe and Mac. I was about to say, hold up a goddamn minute.
Just to go back on Morbid Metal, it's giving me big, what's the MMO kind of free-to-play one that you play?
Warframe.
It's giving me Warframe vibes. Would you say that's
I could get that because you're playing like mecha people, but like no, gameplay-wise, I would not.
Okay.
I can kind of get what you're saying. I think if you aesthetically and vibe-wise like Warframe, there's lines of it that you can find in Morbid Metal that are 1-to-1, but like I would not go expecting similar, like even gameplay experiences between the two. I think they're very, very drastically different.
Okay, cool.
But yeah. And then Wildgate. Wildgate is the game being made by the ex-Blizzard developers that are making like that sort of PvPvE game where you get on a ship, you and a whole bunch of friends, and you go and loot stuff and raid other people's ships. This game I was not super hot on. It seems like you need 4 players to be able to play this. Like even playing 3 people together and then 1 random will ruin this experience more than it does most other games.
Okay.
On top of that, you get like each character. It's sort of like a hero shooter where every character does their own thing. Each character has like a movement ability, and those are super limited, so they're not OP because of the PvP sense. Overall, that left me like not super interested to play more personally. And then I played Jump Ship, which is similar concept, except just PvE, and a lot better in almost every regard, in my opinion.
So I remember hearing about this last year. So yeah, I'm interested to hear about this one.
Yeah, so this one is basically like both of these are very Sea of Thieves. If you're like Sea of Thieves in space is like the description I'd give both of these. Not fully 1-to-1, but that's the closest comparison. Jump Ship is purely PvE. You pick a mission type. A mission type will have like 4 or 3 different objectives in it, and each time you'll jump ship to a different objective. And it essentially runs like a roguelike run. You'll go out there. Your ship will get hit. It'll start going on fire. You have people running around trying to turn off the fires. One person's driving it. One person's trying to kill the ships. It's a very big collaborative effort to like clear the objectives. If you are not somebody manning the gun and you're not somebody driving the ship, you can just go out on top of your ship, grapple hook to one of the ship, destroy the battery packs, the gun, and then it'll self-destruct and you can jump off and fly back to your ship. It's very, very cool. You always feel like there's something for you to do, be it recharging the shields. If you want to recharge your ship's shields, you build the shield generator, and then there's 4 spots on the top of your ship that you have to actively go to. So it's not just build it in the thing and your ship gets it. You have to actively insert them as well. Even with healing, if you have to build the heal thing and then you have to run it to the spot where you put in the heal. It's very, very collaborative in a way that you enjoyed that experience in Sea of Thieves. I think you'll really enjoy it in Jump Ship. It is a very fun time, and I'm looking forward to this game's full release.
Potential stream game?
Yeah. I think we'd have fun for a stream. It's space, so with Fix.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about the space thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt will play with you. He plays games with us, right?
Fix will play with us.
Fix will play with us. We'll make him.
No, I won't. Fix. I won't play this with you.
I'll play 6 Siege X with you if you do.
Who's playing Borderlands 4? We're getting to that later.
Next story.
We don't have to play Jump Ship or not.
No, we're good.
I also played more. Did we talk about us playing Nightreign on the stream yet?
When me and you played.
We have not.
When me and you played, you know about that,
yeah,
right?
I'm talking about in general. Have we talked about Nightreign on the podcast?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, we must have.
No, I don't think so.
No, because we played it before I went away to LA.
Yeah, and then we had the episodes loaded up for predictions.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Nightreign.
You're right. Oh, yeah. Well, we've all played it, and we played it all together.
Yeah. On time. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more in the beginning than I did. The longer I played it. The more I played it, the more issues started creeping out with the game.
I don't think it's a great game, I have to say. Now, let's caveat that with, of course, there's a lot to like about the game because it's a FromSoft game. It's Elden Ring. Like those things alone, cool. I don't love the execution. Again, I went into this game not knowing anything. This was, the epitome of a game that you pick up because your friends have and you don't want to miss out on the experience. Yeah. That was this experience for me, like 100%. So I knew that going in. I will say price point, I think it's like £35 over here. Great price point, which I like. I do like the idea of reusing assets from a game and then making them into a different game. I do like that. And they have done that here. Yep. My issue is, how can you launch a game like this and not have crossplay? Number one, that is such a huge misstep. In 2025, that is crazy to me. Number two, it's missing so many things. It's missing voice chat, which I think would be brilliant.
No. Are you a voice chat in this game? Absolutely not.
I don't want to shout it because I'm not good enough.
People are already so toxic. Then take the toxicity of a Souls game and be like, yeah, go in voice chat. So you can go in, grab the bow that the guy who's playing the bow character is like, that's my bow. And then just have him shit on you the whole time. And he's not going to leave because the game just rejoins the person and they're going to be more frustrated. Every time they just absolutely no. Voice comms are not. No. That's one of those things where it makes sense when you're looking at like the grand scheme of like where games are today. That does not make sense, and you want people to enjoy your game.
I disagree with you because you're looking at it on the worst case scenario.
Not everybody's a content creator. Not everybody's gonna be having fun with those voices.
No, I'm not saying they are.
That's what you're looking at.
I'm not.
You're leaving a smile on your face.
I'm not. I promise. I'm smiling because you're making me smile. I'm not. Oh. I'm looking at it from the point of view of somebody like me who is new new enough to the series that doesn't quite understand everything that's going on. Sometimes push to talk. Yo, what direction we going? Yeah, bro, we're going this way. Perfect. That's kind of all I need. You know, a little bit.
So for you, right?
What weapon should I get?
So
you should
right?
get this. Bam, bam. You know?
Yeah. How many times have you queued up with random people?
I'm not playing the game ever again without you guys.
Okay,
ever,
there's
the ever again.
The game is designed like worse or come good. The game is designed to be played with 3 people that you know.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's ultimately. I don't think voice comms is the thing. I don't think voice comms ever in any game that is somewhat competitive ever work. And it might be a PvE game.
The
game is it does not. No.
Yes, you're so wrong. I totally disagree. I totally disagree with you. I think we've got to stop pretending that the world is the worst place on God's given earth and everybody's an absolute arsehole.
A lot of people are absolute assholes.
Sure,
you have to stop pretending a lot of people are not absolute assholes.
No. In 2025, we treat the internet like everything is just like the worst thing ever. Like there's no good people. So you're telling me?
Wait, I didn't say there's no good people. You want to know what you want to do if you want to have voice comms? Go and join a Discord that has a whole bunch of people grouping up for Elden Ring and find a fucking group like that.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Voice chat in the game and maybe I'll meet some decent people.
For every one decent person, you'll play fucking 15 hours of people just calling you trash.
No, I disagree. Bro, we just look at the world has become such a cesspool of just thinking
it is a cesspool. That's why you don't add voice comms.
No, but we just think everybody's the worst thing ever.
But that's not. No, that's not what it is.
You don't think that? I'm not saying you would choose it, Chris. You are an antisocial person who don't want to chat to nobody.
I don't think it's missing.
It definitely is.
I do not think
a game like this is definitely missing.
No, it's not.
It definitely is.
I'm kind of leaning on Crash's side, mainly because I think the ping system works just as well as for telling people.
You have the ping system.
So what? So because you have a ping system, you can't add voice chat.
You don't need voice chat.
I need to add it.
If it's missing, it needs it. If it's not, you can't say it's missing if it doesn't need it.
What?
Yeah, I don't miss it.
Is it a need for the game? Yes or no?
Is it a need for the game? You need it. That's not true. Something could be missing and doesn't mean you have to need it. That's not true.
How is it
That's
missing?
A crazy thing to say.
The statement you want to make is, I'd like there to be voice chat. That'd be cool if there was a voice chat.
So I think you two are looking at the word missing.
Game. Go on, Despawn, sorry.
I think you two are looking at the word missing in two different things. Like, Crash is looking at like this game is less fun for not having it. And that's the kind of argument he's like, no, I don't think it is. Where you're saying it's not in the game, therefore it's missing.
I'm saying a game where you are supposed to communicate with your teammates via online. What? You're telling me that's not
ping? Just ping. There is the ping. That's how you communicate.
Crash, we understand that you do not like talking to people.
No, this is it. But this is not about me.
I like talking to people.
Get on Discord and join random Discord calls.
I shouldn't have to. Put a voice chat system in the game.
We're just not going to agree on this. We're just not going to agree on this.
Let us know in the comments below. Do you think a free-player online game where you need to communicate in some sense?
But you can.
I'm not saying you cannot communicate. Okay. I didn't say you couldn't communicate, but you do need to communicate in some sense. You do not think having a push to talk in the game is a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing.
We can leave it there. We're never going to agree on this. We can leave it there.
Get in the comments.
Get back to the game anyway. What do you think of it, Crash? You've been playing it way more than both of us.
Yes. I really liked it. I think it's a fun loop. I think some of the pacing it's very tight. And the more you play it, the more that makes sense.
That's true.
I think when you pick up weapons, every character has certain stats that they scale with. And so the weapons not having those stats on them kind of sucks. So it's a lot of effort to figure out what works right now. That's an easy fix though. I think my biggest issue with the game, at least from what I've played, most of the bosses as co-op bosses are kind of dog shit. I am not a fan of them, aside from the very first boss, which is the fox, and a couple of other ones. But if it flies in any way, shape, or form, it is a bad boss, in my opinion. And this game has a lot of them. And because it's not one play, when you're just yourself and you have turret and Elden Ring, It's easy to deal with a flying boss. You hop on turret, you run to the boss. Cool. And this, it doesn't really function like that. They have the run ability, but you also waste stamina when you do that. There's a whole, I don't think it's balanced in that perspective super well, where a lot of the bosses just don't feel super good that I've played. And I've only fought about like 5 final bosses. As well as reviving people is a system that doesn't make sense.
Yep,
to revive 1 bar, it's like 2 hits, and then when you get to 2 bars, it doesn't go to 4 hits, which would be the logical thing of like, that makes sense. It's like, no, now you need 8 hits, and then you go up to 3 bars, and it's not like a clear linear raise. It is like an exponential raise for whatever reason. It just doesn't make.
Yeah. It's different.
It's probably the simplest way of doing it. Go on.
Yeah, I like the having to hit teammates to revive.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. It is very much so. The 1 bar is not the same amount as 2 bars, and like that 1 section doesn't take the same once they get to 2 bars. The 1 section takes even more hits to get through, and then the 3 bars, that 1 section that is different from the other 2 1 sections. It's just it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, just leave it at that point. For me, the issue with the revival system is if I knock somebody down, like if someone's 3 bars and I get rid of 2, don't redo it. It shouldn't tick back up.
The rate it ticks up also increases.
It's
the more
ridiculous.
bars missing,
It's ridiculous. It's just like if I manage to get somebody like clear 2 bars, it should stay cleared. It's like if I half fill a bar, fill that bar back up. But if I clear a bar, that bar should stay cleared.
I get you. You played a bit of it, Diesel. How many hours have you put in, roughly? Do you know?
I mean, I could tell you. I've got Steam open in front of me. I put in about...
You were doing that on your Xbox? Amazing.
14.9 hours. 15 hours I've put in. I did do a lot of time on the Steam Deck when I was in LA, just doing solo runs. Never went well for me. Never went well. But no, I'm enjoying it. It's been on the back burner for a while now, just because other games have popped up. But no, I'm having fun with it. I agree.
It won't be in my top 10.
No, I'll be honest. I don't think it'll be in mine either.
I would be surprised if it's in my top.
Yeah,
I've put in like 24 hours into the game.
I put 5.
Oh, nice little spread.
All 5 of those hours have been with me.
Yeah.
That's true.
Every other hour will be with you as well. This man has never played that game on his own.
It's not going above 5. It's not going above 5.
I very much doubt it. I very much doubt it.
Go on. Hello.
Please. Sorry,
I was just going to ask Crash, are you excited for the new update that dropped a couple of days ago? With the updated versions of them? Bosses? Nope.
No care. To be honest, the only reason I'll jump back into this game is that it is a co-op game, and I will have friends that I know will want to play this again.
I want to play it.
If it was purely up to me, I wouldn't play this game.
Yeah. I know Matt likes it. He's playing it a lot. When he's not avoiding the podcast. When next time he's on this podcast, if he has not beaten the Lies of P DLC, I'm literally going to fly over. I'm going to beat him. You're going to fly over. You're going to do my plaster for me.
I'll do your plaster. And then
little insight to podcast talk that happens outside recording. Crash is going to come over and plaster my walls for me.
Yep.
What a legend.
What a legend. Don't even want paying for it. Just said he'll do it for free.
No. Just you gotta play the flight. Pay for the flight. The flight's the payment.
Flight's the payment. I'll pay for the flight.
It's the gift for the baby. I'll do the plaster for the baby.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Nice. What a legend. What have you been playing, D-Spawn?
Nothing beyond what I played last week, except for obviously I played more Dune Awakening, played more Altars, and also played the Moonlighter 2 demo. So Moonlighter is a game that I love, the first one. It's like a top-down Zelda where you run a little shop where you sell monster parts, but you go into the dungeons to get the monster parts. So it's like kind of half dungeon crawler, half base management. It's pretty cool. They've just dropped the demo for Moonlighter 2, where it's all changed, like the way that the angles work. Like, so it's now, rather than it being the top down, now it's like an isometric game. It looks a bit more like Bastion, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has those kind of vibes, but it's still the similar premise. It basically starts with you failing to save your town from the first game and having to move into a different town where then you basically rinse and repeat, by going into dungeons and getting parts and stuff. Mostly like it. I think it loses a bit of its charm with the change to isometric from the drop-down look and it being more pixel art previously. I also think some of the controls aren't as good as they were from the previous game. Like, I felt like I died more from rolling off edges rather than like in fights, which is a shame. Because rather than it being like the old classic Zelda of it being like each fight being in a separate room and you just have to survive that room, this is now like it is like a linear pathway that you've got to work your way through, with like jumping across like gaps and things like that. And it's those gap jumps that just don't feel very intuitive with the new camera angle. But hopefully they can fix that going forwards. But what they've got there looks interesting enough. I'll definitely be playing it when it drops.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've never got into those games ever. Any Bastion, Moonlighter, none of them.
Oh, Bastion's really good.
Bastion's very good. Moonlighter's very good. I mean, yeah, it's on Game Pass. I know you're a big fan of Game Pass.
Oh yeah, so I'm such a big fan of Game Pass that I forgot my password to Xbox the other day, and I couldn't even sign in so I could do the Final Fantasy 16 stream. That's how much of a fan I am.
Yep.
There you go.
What?
Go on.
What does that have to do with Game Pass?
Well, I can't log into my Game Pass either because I don't have the password.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I got you now. Okay.
Valid.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Same password. Yeah. So I did figure it out though.
So proud.
I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege. I am back in the Rainbow Six Siege bag. I love this game so much. There's so much I could say about it. Like, if you've never played Rainbow Six, you don't know what you're missing out on. Number one, it is one of the most punishing games ever. Like, ever to exist. It has taken me probably, no word of a lie, probably about 20 to 25 hours to get back in the bag of playing Rainbow Six Siege again. Which for most people, that's going to be an instant turn off. Like, that's just no chance. I'm not interested in that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a slow learner, so no, that's just me. Maybe you'll get it quicker than me. But playing with a regular squad again of people that are now coming through, I'm streaming and stuff. And yeah, man, CJX has been a lot of fun. They've rechanged, like I said before, they've rechanged the ban system now. So when you do unranked matches, you ban an operator per round, which is probably my favorite change from the entire season. When they first announced it, I was actually kind of against it, but there's nothing better than you've got someone playing Caveira who's a roaming character, and you know they're constantly getting kills. Like, let's just ban them, and then they can't use that character, and then they do drastically have to change. Now, if you play it more competitively, you've got people that will go and ban all the hard breaches, which means it makes it that much harder for them to get into the sites and things of that nature. It just changes the dynamics of the game in its entirety. I've been playing ranked as well, which is so punishing. The way ranked works this season, they actually show your ranks when you're in matches with people, which has got lots of people very upset because people are getting queued up with like championship players and things like that. But you've got to remember, it's super early on in the season, so you've got championship players are currently still in bronze working their way through. So you've got the skill elo levels have not quite settled yet. So you are going into some ranked matches and getting absolutely destroyed, but then you're going into some ranked matches and absolutely destroying copper players. So it's coming a bit back and forth. It's funny because we had one game where someone in the text chat was like, oh yeah, look at the rank system, because we were a bunch of coppers and we beat them 4-0. And they were like, oh, okay. We're expecting that. And they were a bunch of gold. So yeah, the elo's kind of all over the place right now, but I do like it. I like it a lot. I like they've put a new Valk skin in, which has got the internet talking because it's a lot of money. I think it's $40 to buy it. Now the game's now gone free to play, so you're going to expect a lot more of this to come. But it's a fully, it's the first fully animated skin. So kind of like, imagine like a more seriously toned Valorant skin. with the way you can now, because now you can look at your gun. So that's all fully animated and things. There's animations now on the Valkyrie cameras that like glow and stuff like that. Like there's a lot that's been done with the skin. It's a very good looking skin, and I probably would have bought it if it was for an operator that I cared about. But the big talking point right now is like it's $40. I think it's $40. Which you can use creator code MC Fixer at checkout to support a creator. Remember, you have to do it every 14 days, so put your code in. No, but all jokes aside, hashtag. But maybe an ad. I don't know if I have to say ad for that. Hashtag ad. I don't know.
Hashtag ad. Why not? I'll say it. Hashtag ad.
Thank you. But yeah, no. Siege as a whole, I'm really enjoying it again. Really enjoying it again. It's scratching that itch from my competitive shooter game, which obviously I don't have now with XDefiant being gone, which is kind of a shame. Waiting for the next Call of Duty to come, waiting for Battlefield to come. Outside of that, I don't really know what else is in the mix for that type of game, you know?
Do I jump back in, Fix?
Do we all
jump back in? You want me to be
in?
honest?
Yeah, this is an honest question. Do I jump back in?
I don't think so, Crash. You're not the same Crash. You're not the same Crash that you was 5 years ago. Like when it comes to these type of games, like put it this way, we might not get good like for the first 2 hours of playing. Yeah. By that time, you've gotten off because you've been frustrated. Number one, you don't have the time that you used to have. That's number one. Number two, 2 hours of getting your teeth kicked in. I just don't see you wanting to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I would. Okay.
No, and realistically, that is what it is. Don't get me wrong. I think I went an hour and a half of my last stream of just losses. Loss after loss after loss after loss. Now, I was still having a great time because I'm still relearning maps, relearning operators, relearning peaks, things like that. And I'm always, the thing I love about Rainbow is every time something goes wrong, I know it was my fault. Because the saying's very much either swing or get swung on, right? Like that is the saying for Rainbow. And I'm not swinging. Sometimes I'm not swinging, and I'm getting swung on. And it's just learning those. It's learning those little things. Honestly, don't get me wrong. I think for like a one-off Crash, I think you'd love it. Like to play with the boys, have a bit of fun. Sure, but like as a actually get back in to actually play. I don't think so. I'd love you to come back and play, but I just don't see it.
I'd be down for us all playing together. I had fun when we did the.
We need somebody. We need to bring in like either Pro. I've got a guy called Prawley who plays. Yeah, because you just need somebody who can get a few pickup kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's me and Jay who are the worst on our team at the moment, and we can't play ranked together because the team can't carry both of us.
Yeah. Okay.
So
it's going to be an unranked stream, is what you're telling me. Okay, cool.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like unranked, maybe even arcade mode, mate. Who knows?
Yeah.
Literally. No, but it's a good
game. Have they got that lone wolf mode
it.
in there again? Back? Is that back? I don't know.
No. There's a new event. I think there's a new event coming up soon. Okay. So that could be fun. I'm pretty sure I saw someone talk about it on TikTok. So yeah, it might be a good time to jump in. Again, it's a weird one, right? Because it's gone free to play. There's definitely a lot of, but not enough new players that you still got a lot of the OGs that are really good at the game. So yeah, it's fun. And then the other thing that I played was a sponsored stream, but I'll talk about it anyway, which is called a game called Berzerk or Die. This one was published by the same people who made Vampire Survivor. So this was shown at the PC showcase a week ago. So this game is very much a, how do I explain it? Like the whole premise of the game is you hit your keyboard as many keys as possible and you strike it either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and that's where your attacks go.
Okay.
So yeah, again, hashtag ad. I was sponsored to play the game, but honestly, I had a great time playing it. And yeah, it's really good. It's one of those like arcadey films. You score as many points as you can as you go along. After each wave, a shopkeeper comes and you use your coin to then buy different level ups. Like it might be, you get a javelin. So after every 5 kills, you'll then shoot out a javelin, or you'll get what are some of the other things you got? More damage to bosses, things of that nature. things of that nature. I think Despawn, I generally think it is a game that you would enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, take away the smashing of the keyboard, because you don't really need to do it. The more keys you hit, the more damage you do. That is true. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I think it cost like £2 to play. It was like £2.79 for the ad when I did the ad. It might be out of that period now, but yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I'm currently looking it up now. Everyone on the thing can see it. It's all cool. It is £2.09. Oh no, that's a different game.
It's $4 over here. I don't know what that.
Okay, there you go. So probably
$2.99.
Yeah, I think it's like cheaper. There you go. Okay, it was cheaper. It's gone up by like 30p. But yeah, for the time that I spent with it, I had a really good time. It was definitely well worth playing, and I'm not just saying that because it was an ad or anything like that. I'm very allowed to speak about it openly, but I had a good time with it. So, yes.
Add it to cart.
Nice. I think you'll like it. I do think you will enjoy it. I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
before it's one of those games that I think like the more you play it, the more fun it will be. I think there's like 5 different levels. There's a bunch of different characters that have different stats. As I was at the end of my 2 hours, I was starting to unlock new weapons as well that you can attach to different characters and things like that. So yeah, I think it'll probably make my top 10. Like I enjoyed it that much.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I enjoyed it that much. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, does it have like? Because you didn't play a lot of Vampire Survivors, right?
Didn't play any.
Okay, because I know obviously it's not the same developers, but it's like the same like. Is it like a roguelike kind of like each run like unlock something new kind of thing? Or is it just a survive as long as you can kind of thing? Like when your run ends, do you unlock any abilities?
No, you don't. Okay. No. But what I will say is every single run that I did, the shopkeeper would always have something new.
Okay.
So you're always sort of. So it's not so much like you're getting new abilities per se, but every single run that I was doing, I was learning something new to take with me forward. So like you have like your health bar, right? You can buy you either buy food, which will give you will give you health, or you have like extending health for like whatever briefcase or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. I always found within that, again, maybe after 20 hours, you're not experiencing new stuff. But in the 2 hours of what I was playing, every time I went to the shop, it was like that excitement of like, oh, what else is he gonna have? Yeah. What's he gonna have this time? So yeah, that was fun.
Has he got a Twix and a Mars milkshake? That's what I want to know.
I wish. Oh mate, I'll take a milkshake right now so much. It's so hot in the UK. Oh my god.
So hot.
But yeah, let's get into this week's dashboard, boys, so we can get the hell out of here. First story is a big one. Apparently, Sony is potentially trying to buy the video game assets, along with some other stuff, from WB. So that would obviously mean them owning Hogwarts Legacy, Game of Thrones, and all those other assets that obviously they've said that they want to focus on. What is it? Hogwarts Legacy, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones,
Mortal
Kombat, and DC.
And then DC. Yeah, that's the main things. So I saw a rumor about this swirling around about Sony being interested. I've also seen rumors that Xbox back being interested as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really got to go into the nitty gritty of it all. But what do you guys think of this? Do you care? How you feeling?
I have two mindsets. One, I want neither Microsoft or Sony to buy them, and then on my other mindset, I do not want Warner Bros. To still have them. So I'm sort of a case of like wherever it ends up happening, I'm kind of fine with, because I think they're all shitty and have their own benefits at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through them then. Let's go through those shittiness. So if Sony owns them, talk to me. What's the problem?
They become, or you'd assume they become exclusives, but like it's more so like having too much under one umbrella, I think, problematic. Even if this specific case is like Sony isn't problematic with them, I think giving a lot of power to any of these companies is too much. You get into the situation where, like, if you look at Disney and you look at movies, Disney owns about so much different properties that anything that comes out ends up.
So it's been amazing, Crash.
I'm not.
Brave New World.
Oscar
winner. Yeah.
All amazing, but it all comes with like
amazing.
sort of this Disney coat on it, where that has like similarities of like this is what Disney thinks sells, and that's something that I'm like, I wouldn't want to happen. And the same thing that I say for that also goes to Microsoft as well. It's not so much the exclusivity necessarily; it's what they would do with it is a little bit samey with everything else that they would be making at the time.
Okay.
That's more so my worry. And then with Warner Brothers, it's like they have next to no clue what they're doing. I don't trust anything to come out of them. That one's literally like probably the worst option. The better option is either Microsoft or Sony get them.
Yeah. I mean, I think best get going, Dayspawn, please.
I was gonna say for me, it'd be. I think if any one of the two was to own it, I'd want it to be Xbox because they've shown that they are willing to put games everywhere. So there's less like there's that risk of like certain gamers like losing out. My camera is fully gone, by the way. For those watching on a video, you get to look at a lovely photo of me. You guys are safe from my arms. But yeah, no, I think it's a weird one, right? I'm with Crash completely. Like, I don't want them to be consolidated into another bigger company and then layoffs and all that kind of stuff and all that, all the fun things that come with everything we've seen recently. But then again, I don't want Warner Brothers to have them either because Warner Brothers has shown they can't handle their own IPs properly.
Yeah, I mean, look, Warner are Warner right now. Yeah, they're in a very sticky spot right now. I kind of want them to sell, to be honest with you, but I don't think there's a chance in hell. Like, realistically, because the way I look at it is like if Suicide Squad didn't exist, we look at Warner like a whole different company because they come off of Hogwarts Legacy, which was a smash hit that made so much money, and we will be looking at them like, okay, so what? They've got all this money now; they can reinvest that. We get Hogwarts Legacy 2. They've done all the legwork for that. Blah 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 blah. But because they laid off all their game division teams over in the UK. They've laid them a lot of stuff off. They've closed a lot of studios.
Yep.
And then Suicide Squad. We look at them so differently.
Mm-hmm. Suicide Squad is the embodiment. It is like the proof of like, oh, this is what they're doing to their studio. So when the studios close, it's not like they're making a game that isn't working out. It's like Warner Brothers has a hand in it, and that's why it's not working out. It's more so the view of it.
How have we not gotten a sequel to Batman Origins?
We did. It was Batman Arkham Asylum.
Like I'm talking like a true sequel,
Arkham Knight came after the game.
Yeah. Okay, Origins 2. Yeah.
I meant like a true sequel. Like
the true.
So instead of like doing something in the future, going prequel, so you're in the alley when Batman's parents get murdered.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I want to see that moment for the 100th time, okay? But this time, let me play as the baby watching.
I don't think he was a baby. I think he was like a full.
He was a child. He wasn't a baby, but I get it. I get it.
Oh yeah, I guess he was a child.
Right. He was old enough to walk.
That tells me everything. Does that tell you everything you need to know about my opinion on Batman?
Yeah, I just want everybody listening to know that Fix faked that false opinion. He actually knew the case, and he just wanted to be like, I'm not really a Batman fan.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
It's all propaganda.
I'm not really a DC fan. I've come to accept this.
See,
like the new Superman film's coming, right? And like someone in my chat was like, "Oh, you can go see it," and I'm like, "No, I care. No, I don't care."
See, I'm more interested to see that because it's a James Gunn movie more than it is because it's a Superman movie.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Superman just never done it for me. Too powerful.
Yeah.
That's always been my thing. Too powerful.
Yeah. Same.
Which upsets me because I like Henry Cavill. I've still never seen those films either. I have seen Batman v Superman.
I mean, you've seen the best one.
I've seen both cuts as well. I've seen the Snyder cut. Just saying.
Oh, that's Justice League. That's not Batman vs Superman.
That was the Batman.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Fake fan.
I've seen Batman v Superman.
Yeah. You said both cuts for Batman versus Superman.
Both.
You probably meant like both.
Yeah.
Because you've definitely done both. You've definitely watched them both because you're a true super fan. Yeah.
Super big Batman fan. The moment they had Batman in that movie, you had to go watch it.
I proved you wrong before about my Batman. My art. Have you seen the picture?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not memeing here. You are a true die-hard Batman fan. Your mother will attest to it.
My mother will attest to it. That's very true. My mother will attest. So, Despawn, anything more on the wall now? Do you care? I'm just kind of. Do you know what it is? I think I'm desensitized to Warner selling because we heard about it for so goddamn long that I'm like, okay.
Who cares? Like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like a state of disbelief.
Yeah. So the only thing that excites me, and this is a genuine thing, I'm not memeing on this one. The only thing that excites me about Warner Brothers selling their gaming division is somebody else having access to the Nemesis system.
Well,
you wouldn't want PlayStation to have that, surely.
No, I'd want Xbox to have that and put it in Gears.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Imagine you have to, like Lambents have like their own like hierarchy. You're gonna go fight them.
The only time that would have been perfect for them to do that came and went, and it was Gears Tactics. Like, I don't want a mainline Gears game. Like a mainline Gears game is like a narrative-driven experience. I don't want that. Like, I'm coming back to create our own like inter-game narrative that isn't really part of the main narrative sort of situation. I don't need that.
I'm just saying, there's never too late for Tactics 2.
Yes, there is.
I think if Xbox thought there was a time for Tactics 2, we would have got that.
We would have. Yeah.
Isn't the patent for the Nemesis system expiring soon?
2028.
I think it's a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then Sony buys it and then just pans it for even longer.
It's
and
not a
then
couple of years. It's 2036.
Fuck.
So yeah, I think I'm with you. I think here's the thing. With that added, I'm more inclined to say Xbox should buy them because I don't think Xbox would be like, we can only use this patent. I don't think Xbox would care.
That's true.
To be honest, even if Xbox did that, I think Xbox would be more likely to actually use the system.
That's a good point as well.
I think if either of them buy it, they use the system.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'd put
I think Warner Brothers is just like actively like not trying to use this. It's a shit system. What are we gonna do with it?
How have you got a system?
Yeah,
there's a system in place in gaming that everyone has been clamoring for that we just never got again.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
It was supposed to be a Wonder Woman, but that's dead.
Yeah, that died.
Never happening.
Speaking of dead things, Crash, Marathon's been delayed.
Love
like the transition.
Love it. Not hating it.
Yeah, Bungie's announced that its upcoming Extraction shooter Marathon has been delayed, originally scheduled to release on the 23rd of September. The game has been pushed back to a new date. However, we haven't received that date. There's a quote that comes along with this, but the key points that they've included that need improving is like the up in the survival game, more challenging and engaging AI encounters, more rewarding runs with new types of loot and dynamic events, making combat more tense and strategic, double down on Marathon's universe, that the stuff they stole them, increased visual fidelity, more narrative and environmental storytelling to discover and interact with, a darker tone that delivers on themes of the original trilogy, adding more social experiences, a better player experience for solo/duos, proximity chat so social stories can come to life, proximity chat. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't start. I'm joking. Calm down. I'm joking.
Get him, Chris. Get him.
Let's be 100% clear here. There's a lot of stuff that you could say like, sure, they might have delayed. There's one reason that they did delay it, and that's because of all the stuff they copied. That is the only reason, because they have to rework so many assets of the game. They essentially have to rework literally the whole visual identity of the game because it's all based off the artwork. And while all this stuff is probably like benefits to like, they can work on this other stuff, it's not why.
Crash, no disrespect. I totally agree with you, by the way. Totally agree.
Yep.
Isn't this just creating a game at this point?
That's
everything they listed is everything the game is meant to be. So let me get straight. You're remaking the game.
For the most, they have the idea of the game. They're back to stage one without being in stage one. Like they're like, we can reuse some of these animations and the skeletons of some of these like character models. But they're very set back, like very set back.
This game is not coming out next year.
I'd
be surprised.
There's a possibility this game never comes out.
No, this game comes out. If this game don't come out, holy smoke, that would be crazy.
Bungie are done if that's the case. Like,
I
But
Sony
it's not Bungie at that point. It's Sony's in trouble.
Yeah, it looks so bad on them. But even if this game comes out,
if I could,
I think Bungie go ahead.
I was going to say, when I say Bungie are done, I mean like their autonomy that they had, like when they got signed up. I think that is done. Like they are fully engulfed.
They haven't had that for years, in my opinion. Like that's been gone for ages.
No, but the reason they are where they are is because they had that autonomy.
Yeah.
Sure. They've never spoken to me, I guess. You know, the only game that they ever put out that I really loved, and I know that I'm in the minority with this, but the only game I enjoyed deeply was probably Destiny 1. Like that was the one that I was like, oh, okay, this seems cool. And then Destiny 2 came, and me and Crash played it for 24 hours, and then cool. And Crash was like, this is the best thing ever. And I was like, is it, Crash? Is it? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay, I'll play multiplayer shoot online with you sometime. And then I never saw him again.
Wow.
I don't play the multiplayer of it. So.
You did.
The PvP?
You did.
Wow. Remember something better than me.
Correct. You can't. You think I was out there playing that shit?
I don't. I can tell you, I do not remember actively playing the PvP.
We did.
Okay.
Together.
I believe you.
Together.
We've done a lot of stuff.
I think Yami might have played it with us as well.
I think I might have played it with you at one point.
Potentially.
I've definitely played PvP.
I have a whole history with this. I didn't even remember. That's crazy, rediscovering your past. Why they always have that little bit in video games, you know? The main character that has amnesia, they discover everything again.
This is you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Does this make anybody sad? I just don't care. I didn't care when they announced it. I didn't care when the alpha came out. I didn't care when the AI got stolen, or not the AI, the art got stolen. I cared about the artist, not them being donuts, is what I'm saying. I just don't care. I've never cared about this. I didn't understand the hype for it when they announced it. It just does nothing for me.
So for me, go on, Crush. Oh, okay. For me, like, I love Destiny's gunplay. I love the idea of they've got some of the better gunplay out there. I love the idea of getting into an extraction shooter that's like easy to pick up. Like this had the hallmarks of I love the art style. Now it turns out it's not their art style, but I loved everything they were showing. But then as I started seeing the game actually being played, I was like, oof, yeah, no, this isn't quite for me yet. So hopefully with the extra 2 years they've got to make this game, they'll actually make something I want to see.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I fall in line with it. Like, hopefully with that extra time of whatever, they actually make something that is that I would enjoy. I'm also more on the line. I don't know how much I care about Bungie, period, at this point.
Yeah.
As well. So it's more so like a general Bungie can announce that they're making Destiny 3 or they're going back to making Halo. Wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My main concern is, I mean, like I say, if this delays as long as I'm thinking it's going to be, it's definitely going to be too little too late. Like, extraction shooters will be, out the door.
Nah, I disagree on that. Because I don't think they're in right now. Like, I feel like we're seeing a lot more of them, but we've also seen a lot more of them come and go in the same time period.
I think publishers, bigger publishers, are trying to get ahead of the Fortnite situation, where they're at the forefront of that, and they're like, oh, extraction. It feels more like a forced, this is the next big thing, than this is just the next big thing. It's
what is the next big thing? We haven't had it again, have we yet?
Turn-based
RPGs.
RPGs.
Royales, survival RPG.
I think it's survival RPGs. I think with Dune, I think that is going to be the start of survival RPGs. Yeah.
Honestly,
I do. I generally do think you're correct.
It's the evolution of that into this more MMO experience. Not I think in hand it'll also be the evolution of MMOs to go more into the survival RPG route.
I would love that. Like, they did, put it this way, everything I've seen of Dune and everyone talking about and everything else, and we spoke about it, I think it was last week, if they just did that on some property that I actually cared about, it would be my game.
Yeah.
But because it's that property, I'm like...
just not feeling it.
It's a shame.
Because it's a really good game, regardless of the property. Although I will say
can I be honest? I also think graphically it looks awful.
I mean, it looks like an MMO.
Sure.
To be the next best thing, you don't have to look.
Oh no, Fortnite didn't look like Fortnite looks now. Fortnite looks amazing. Looks amazing now. It didn't look like it looks now 100%. So, yeah, well, trust me, Crash. Let's just say one thing. I'm not the person to go to when it comes to what we think is going to be the next big thing. Remember when I bought? I don't know if you even remember this. Do you remember when I bought that Lego game that I thought was going to compete with Minecraft? Lego World or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were teeing up the World Ends or whatever that game was called.
No, the day before.
Died in a weekend.
The day before.
That's what I thought you were teeing up. Yeah, the day before.
Let's move on to happier thoughts, shall we, guys? Eldozo has a question, and it relates to our next news story, and says, what are we making of the news that Borderlands 4 will indeed be $70? So in case you missed it, Borderlands 4 Standard Edition price is set at $70. 2K have confirmed that as pre-orders have now gone live. Randy said some stuff on Twitter about all this, but I just don't care to read it. I've got to be totally honest with you. Did you see, one thing to add more to this before we get into the $70 talk, did you see that the collector's edition doesn't come with the game?
Yep. I saw that.
Defense for that, a real quick defense. Somebody who buys a collector's edition, I would imagine, wants a physical copy, right? A, that's one. B, if you're going to sell a collector's edition without the game for $150, it has to be worth $150. I don't think that is worth $150 by any mark. So I defended it, and then I walked back that defense really quick because it's stupid.
Sure. All right. Well, let's get on to the $70 price point. I, for one, are happy. There's actually a lot more to unpack here because previews have just come out and the previews have been that this game's actually very good so far. If I don't know what you guys have seen. But the previews it is previewing extremely well, and apparently they have learned from a lot of their mistakes with what Borderlands 3 was, and they seem to have improved on the game dramatically from what the previews have been saying. That's got me more excited. I'm not going to lie. I did say I wouldn't buy this game if it cost $80. It doesn't cost $80.
So you are buying it?
So I can buy it now without feeling guilty. Okay. I think this game was going to cost $80, and Randy messed up big time. Let's not get it twisted. This game was going to be I think it's I think it was, because look at their price point for Mafia, and 50? Then being very on the money with 55. I think it's for us.
Oh, okay.
But it's like very much on the money of like, okay, we've got a single player narrative AAA game here, probably on the lighter side when it comes to content if they're charging 50. And I think they were like, okay, we've priced that appropriately. Now if by doing that, we can price Borderlands at 80 and be like, hey guys, don't get angry at us. We're pricing things appropriately. Look across the board. But then Randy comes out and does what Randy does.
Real funds
and then they're like, okay, great. We now need to figure out a price point that we're going to make enough money on our biggest, and they have come out and said, other than from a 2K perspective, their biggest property in volume of selling ever. So, yeah, Borderlands is just all over the place right now, I feel like. Like, you've got, like, the hardcores of hardcore are so excited for this game.
Yeah.
And you've got people like, let's say, hypothetically, Crash, who are not really fans, but would pick it up with their friends, which would also obviously help with the sales of the game, who are just like, I'm not doing it again. Like, there's so many people out there like, I'm not doing it again. There's no way. And then you've got people like me who's like played every Borderlands game, enjoys the Borderlands world, who were like waiting for the price point, and now I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm back. I'm in. Cool, I'm in. Yes, I'm in.
Okay.
Let's do it. Where are you at with it all, Despawn? Have you seen the preview stuff?
I have seen the preview stuff. I've done some stuff through work for it. It looks like more Borderlands, but shinier. Again, it's Borderlands that it just does not speak to me. It's just not a franchise that I've ever got involved in that much. I've tried to play like the majority of them and just never stuck around with them. I'm happy for the people that now have a game that's $70 rather than $80. I agree with you. I think if Randy had kept his mouth shut, this would have been $80. I do think I'm kind of in the middle with the whole collector's edition thing as well. I think for those that just want to buy it digitally, but also all those collectibles that it comes with, there's an option. But if you also want to buy it physically, you can just buy the game physically as well. But also, it is a lot of money. You know, I can see why people would want their game with it.
If it was a statue worth $150, I'd be comfortable with it. The statue is not worth $150.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in pictures, and pictures can be misleading, but usually pictures are very forgiving to.
I'm gonna bring it up, but yeah, no. But again, yeah, I will be playing it. I'll tell you that, unless we, the company pays for it.
I will not be playing it, even if the company pays for it. I refuse to.
Wow. Okay,
there's zero chance I play this game. I absolutely refuse to play this game. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I am not playing this game.
That's mean, and you know it. Haley's gonna be heartbroken.
Why do you have to word it like that?
I mean, Haley's going to be heartbroken.
We've played all the Borderlands together.
I've only played Borderlands 2 with Haley.
Not true, my friends. Borderlands 3 you played.
I'm not playing that with Haley.
Yeah, well, you did, so. We got a double set up now. We're ready to go. We got a mountain dude ready. We're going to do it all night.
I'll be in the stream.
No, you won't, you liar. Well, look, I'm excited for it again, and hopefully the community is. And if you are, I am looking forward to grinding out some loot with you if you want to, and getting our shift keys together and all of that good stuff. So, yay. Yay me.
Yeah, you.
Party of one.
Moving on, I guess. Moving on. Guess that game this week, Crash. What you got for us?
Yes, Guess That Game is the game show where one of us this week, me, picks out a game, and the two of you will ask yes or no questions. I'll answer them. At the end of a minute and 30 seconds, you guys will have come to a conclusion, hopefully, on what the game is. I'll leave your guess. You get it right, you get a point, and then there will be a trivia question for a bonus point. And remember, if you get the exact game correct in whatever the franchise is, you get another bonus point through that. So there's a lot of points to go around. What are the scores right now, Fix?
Crash, you, my friend, are sitting at number 1 with 15 points. I am second with 14 points. Despawn is third with 12 points. Matt is last place with 2 points. And guest host Ryan McCaffrey, who is here, has 1 point.
Okay. We're going to go Fix, then Despawn.
Sure.
Bring up the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
We are going to start.
Xbox original generation.
No.
Xbox 360 generation.
Yes.
Is it an exclusive?
No.
Okay. Was it from Capcom?
No.
Was it a fighting game?
No.
Was it an RPG?
Nope.
Is it an EA published game?
Nope.
Is it a Ubisoft published game?
Nope.
Is it a AAA publisher?
I would say yes.
Yes. Okay. Is it modern setting?
Yes.
Have I played it?
Ooh, I don't know.
No. That's a no. Okay.
Is it a platformer?
Nope.
Is it a driving game?
Christ. Is it
some sort of RPG?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it are the guns involved in the game? Like, do you shoot guns?
No.
Okay.
Is it
you guys asked, is it an RPG? And I said no. I just want to clarify.
You started on it. You started on it.
Yeah.
Is it?
What was that you cut out?
Is it in space?
No, I'll give you guys each one more question because you guys got no fucking clue.
Okay. Fuck. Is it a FromSoft game?
Nope.
Okay, I'll just take a wild stab in the dark at that one.
Yeah.
Has the game ever appeared on an arcade machine?
Ooh.
No.
Okay. Well, we're fucking
You
out
thought
close.
about it. Fucking
Yeah,
thought about it. You thought about it. You thought about it. Thought about it.
I'm just every time you guys are like, he thought about it, I looked over at the Wikipedia
look at the
page
wiki just to be
behind
sure,
me
yeah.
to give you an answer,
Yeah.
yes, because I don't want to give you the wrong answer.
So just to clarify, we never got the publisher. It's 360. Never got the genre. Never got fucking anything. So it's 360, not exclusive, a modern setting. You don't shoot guns in it.
Since you guys got so little, it is in modern settings. It is a modern setting. Use that very loosely.
Okay.
Right. I'm guessing modern setting. The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Telltale's Walking Dead.
Yeah. Definitely use a gun in that.
Yeah, but it's not a gun game.
I asked if you use guns in the game.
I would. He asked if you use a gun as a player. I wouldn't know with that. So
that could be chapter. That could be chapter 5. Jesus.
Spoilers. I'm gonna say. No.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Rico.
Rico?
But I'm pretty sure that's
you
an
literally
Xbox One
shoot
game.
him in that game.
On 360.
No,
Yeah, I don't know.
unfortunately, the game is Ninja Gaiden 3: Razor's Edge.
That's definitely a fucking AAA game, isn't it?
Yeah.
God. Okay.
I just didn't know what you would classify Tecmo Boy. I would call. Yeah, no, I would call.
Definitely
Yeah.
AAA. Definitely.
Yeah.
Fun fact, not my trivia. 2 publishers for it. One, Tecmo Koei. The second publisher, Nintendo. It released for like a month or something like that as a Wii U exclusive.
Huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. I'm surprised.
What is your actual trivia?
The trivia question. What was that, Despawn?
I say, what is the actual trivia, not the Nintendo one?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have here a statement. Statement is about the game, and there are a few lies in the statement, not truths. And so you guys can pick out what there's multiple not truths. Whoever walks away with the most not truths gets a point. Okay. And then at the end, we'll see if neither of you guys get it. We'll see if I'll try and figure out a way to give you guys a bonus point. The game features protagonist Ryu Hoshi on a mission to save the British Prime Minister and his family from being held hostage right in your backyards, guys. He travels to London, fighting hordes of enemies until he reaches the Regent of the Mask, where he successfully saves the Prime Minister. Ryu is then infected with a virus by the Regent. He narrowly escapes with his life. After waking up, there is a broadcast where the Regent states he'll release destruction on the world. Ryu has 7 days to stop the Regent, thanks to the infection only leaving him with that much time to live.
Right, I don't think the surname's correct. I don't think Ryu, whatever the name you said for Ryu, is correct. But I might be wrong. I feel like it was something a bit longer. I feel like it wasn't the British Prime Minister, it was the American President. And the 7 days to live is wrong.
Just give him the points. I'm so lost.
Okay, so Despawn can get the point, but you were right about the name being it.
Yeah,
his actual name is Ryu. So.
Yeah.
7 days to live. I don't think he has a specified amount to live in the game. The guy says he's going to destroy the world 7 days if they don't comply to his demands. It is the British Prime Minister.
Oh, okay.
That does say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Crash,
Not a fan of that trivia fix.
Not
a fan of that trivia. Yeah.
Next time I just need A, B, or C. Yeah. Like I don't know about all. This is.
You know what? It's my turn for guess that game. Yeah, right. Where you guys are playing my game this week. I'm gonna give you the fucking trivia I want to give you this week. Yeah.
You know what? Well, fuck you then. I'm gonna start giving you some of the best trivia you've ever had in your life. All right.
You want to know what? Listeners, whoever listen to this trivia, if you guys dislike this trivia, let me know and I won't do this trivia anymore. Right. I don't give a fuck what fixed things. Nobody listens to this.
If anybody says they don't care, you're just gonna do it again more. You like that's what you would do. It's like stop pretending. You know, so
when Yami's like, yeah, I didn't really like it. It's like, cool, we're doubling down. You're the only one doing trivia for the next 6 months.
Let's jump into Fix the Site before we get out of here. You can gmail.com or hit us up on the Discord like all these lovely people did. Top Left 91 says, what do you expect the price point for the Xbox/OG, the ROG Ally handheld will be? It's kind of hard to answer this already. I know this was a late question. I do apologize. We didn't get to it because of the not E3 stuff. We've already, I mean, I would have said it was going to be probably 600 is where I would have probably said before the leaks came out, thinking that Xbox would take a hit on the hardware. I think we're totally wrong, especially knowing the price point of these things now. But that's probably, if you would have asked this question to get the answer, I would have said 6, and I would have been totally wrong. So I'm glad I didn't say that.
Yeah, I would have said 699. So again, not quite in the ballpark of what the rumors are.
Yeah. Again, it's hard because I always go with the X version price as well. Like, if anyone asked me what the price of this thing was, I would go, oh, yes, it's $800.
Yeah, the top version, yeah.
Is that the cheaper version?
No, that's the extreme version,
yeah. Yami says, if you've seen the Xbox ROG Ally video on YouTube, they keep mentioning that you can play your whole library here. When do you think that move from handheld onto our consoles? I can see PC before console. It is already there in some sorts with the GeForce Now, and it's logging you into a different sort of storefront: Steam, Xbox, Epic. It's funny that you've put this question in now that we have the Xbox announcement. Really, Yami, to be honest with you, because you kind of nailed it, right? It's happening now. Like in the next 2 years is when it's happening. Like. Xbox have definitely had this future planned out for a long time. Let's not get it twisted. But I didn't expect to see this move happen for at least another generation, personally.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. It does feel a little bit faster. You would have assumed, because we're talking about the handheld as it's a testing phase, not really that much of a test, more as like testing the bigger intricacies of doing something like this than like, will it be successful at all? Because it feels like that is something that they are like hard committing to at this point.
Yeah, we're in such a weird world, man. We're gonna be in a world where an Xbox can play Steam games, and
like, can I just say, like, I am these kind of stories that are coming out at the moment. These are the things that kind of get me excited for the next generation. Like, I just not in so much as like I can't wait to be there day one. I'm just like, I'm interested what day one's going to look like between the 3 consoles. Like, we know what Nintendo's looks like now. It looks like the last generation. It's not good. No, it's the same generation. Good. Yeah. But like, what is Xbox and PlayStation going to look like?
How are you feeling about your Switch 2 right now?
I feel like we've had this conversation last week. And it's the same this week.
How are you feeling
now? Exactly the same. Instant buyer's remorse. I did, to be fair.
What about the DK? DK
I mean, DK looks good. I'm not going to lie. DK does look good. Does it warrant the money I spent on the console? I don't know.
I just have to point out that you both walked yourselves into a rake where before the thing even came out, I'm not buying it. That doesn't seem like it's worth it for just Mario Kart for me. And then next thing you know, we got our pre-orders. It's coming in.
So I think I told you last week that I was going to wait until my friends came around and we played it, and we all had like a night session. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Just to like not let the team down. Came first in both Mario Kart World and Mario Party.
Let's go, my guy, real gamer. So yeah, no, ton of fun. I feel for those moments it's great, but I don't feel like it offers anything unique from what the last Switch did. Because again, I played the old version of Mario Party and it was totally fine. And then the new Mario Kart, like there was only 4 of us. I didn't need like another 20 players on the field. Sure, okay, fine. All right, moving on. Angel Boy says next year is Xbox and Halo's 25th anniversary. Phil listed a few games on the show, which were Fable, Gears, Forza, and a classic, which we assume would be the Halo CE remake. Is there a possibility that all four of these games will release next anniversary? And to spice it up more, what if they launch with the next generation Xbox? Also, shout out to Crush for all the hard work. I love you.
Oh,
thank you, Angel Boy.
Nothing makes my blood boil more than that. Nothing makes my Anyway,
you know what? I would have put it past Angel Boy only making that comment to fuck with you.
Oh, 100%, 100%. They're not gonna. I mean, they're not gonna launch on next generation because we're not getting. I don't think the next Xbox next year. I think you've probably got 2 years. 2027 is probably when we start ramping up the announcement for it, and then we start hearing specs and things like that, right? I would imagine, which would be on when with the leak thing that came out a while ago. That's kind of what I think the document said was about 2027. If I'm not mistaken. So.
I think Gamescom or like summer next year is probably where if you get an announcement, it would probably be around.
Won't put it past them doing something at Game Awards.
I was gonna say you do Game Awards and then you do a later in the year release. Also, that's possible.
Yeah, like I don't think you'll see it this like next Game Awards. I think you'll see it, not this one coming in December, but the one after in 2026. I think you'll see it there at the latest, if anything, and then for a 27, like late holiday, like early New Year.
Is Game Awards in December?
Yeah,
I think it was in like
December
January.
12th.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because everyone argues about games not quite making the cut for the year, don't they?
Yeah.
To put things into perspective, though, what a year it's going to be when we do get a brand new. It's going to feel like OG, Fable, Gears, Forza, and Halo all in 1 year would be nuts.
We've talked about like what Xbox needs to do for like a shift a lot. If they do a year like that, and all those games are like really, really good, I think with Xbox's like plan forward, you do have a shift in the perception, and maybe it isn't a shift in which people are like, Xbox is going to be my home console, but you do have a momentum of like, oh, I'm actually looking forward to what Xbox is doing outside of just Game Pass of people.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, it just brings me back to my like early days on the Xbox though, man. Like seeing that list of games. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't play Forza anymore, but I did back in the day. Playing a remake of Halo, I think, would be huge for somebody like me that's kind of never gotten it to that same level. I played way more Halo games than I think people would give me credit for. I believe 1 through 4 and ODST.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And then bits and bobs of like the others. I don't know. I'd have to check my achievement list. I don't remember it. So
I think ODST is the only one I've not played.
Interesting.
Yeah. Don't know why. Just completely.
Play a lot of them, but yeah, it's gonna be a great year. It's not gonna launch obviously because that's a year out, but it's gonna be a great year next year. And yeah, like Crash said, honestly, if all of those games land, what a special year it could be for Xbox.
Yeah, like you say, that could be like the best year since the OG years.
Yeah,
if they nail it.
Yeah. Stead has a big question. I think we'll end on this one because it's boiling hot and I want to get out of here. And we'll answer the rest of the questions next. I know I shout. I'm not going to say sorry. I'd still shout you again if I have them. So, now that we are halfway through the year, what are your favorite games so far? For me, it would be, in no order, Roadcraft, Pirate Like a Dragon, and Zero Blade X Definitive Edition. Damn, yeah, we are halfway through the year. Absolutely mental. Crash, we'll start with you.
Player Obscura and Lies of P. I think like they are so far ahead of anything else I've played that there's nothing comparable to those two experiences. And even then, there's a pretty big gap between Clair Obscura and Lies of P, as much as I do really enjoy that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Despawn?
Clair Obscura, for sure, and Blueprints. I think both of those did something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, both of those did something incredibly special. I think, Claire Obscure just recapturing that love I had for like old classic turn-based RPGs, but just telling a really cool story at the same time. And yeah, Blueprint's like one of the best puzzle games I've ever played.
Yeah, I mean, Claire Obscure for me, 100% is by far and not even close game of the year so far, and I think it would take an absolute miracle to beat it. Like, not even a brand new Resident Evil could beat that right now, in my opinion. I just don't see how it could. Little shout out to Schedule 1. So much fun in that game. I don't think you could. I don't think if you were told me at the start of the year you're going to play a drug dealer simulator type game and you're going to put 40 to 50 hours into it, I would call you crazy. There's no way. It's not going to make. It probably won't make the top 5 of the list, but Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days as well. Give that a shout out. Yeah. Really did enjoy that. I really do enjoy the concept of it. Wish there was more to it, but very, very good. And then the last one I'll say is The Precinct. Again, another game that I put enough time into to say I played enough of it, probably about 7 to 8 hours. That was really, really good. Will probably make the top 10, but not quite that upper echelon of game just yet. But yeah.
Game that slipped my mind, Repo I've absolutely loved this year. I don't know why I felt like Repo came out last year, but I'm pretty sure it was this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it came out this year.
Yeah, that's been absolutely phenomenal.
Fair enough.
I love the stuff they've done for that's been.
Yeah, there's a lot of games on my list I'm looking through right now where I'm like, back to it. I still need to play Formula 1. Still need to play Formula 1 2025, which would be big. Still haven't played Monster Hunter Wilds. That's not as good as, obviously, previous Monster Hunters. Cattle County, I'd like to get back to that, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm just so entrenched right now in Rainbow Six and games like that just other things have not hit me. I haven't played The Alters yet. That came out, and we've just totally missed that.
I haven't. I played it. I talked about it a little bit last week. Very good.
Did you? Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it's very.
I have a question for you, Fix. Rainbow Six. So I got the big Siege X update. Yeah. Would you possibly put that on your game of the year list? No.
No, it's not a new game. It's not a new game. Like, they did advertise it very close to it sort of being the next generation of Siege, and it is that, but it's not a new game. It can't.
Not enough of a.
No, it will probably be, if we change the way we do our awards and did like a best ongoing game and stuff like that, it would be up there for that. Yeah. We probably should do that. Like,
we should plan
version.
I'll start. Yeah. Okay. I'll start like making a list of stuff and stuff.
Okay. Let us know the week going to before the episode we film. Yeah.
The day before, scribbled on a note. I hold it up like, "Hey guys, I got the list.
I got the list. You made it.
Well done. I put the work in. Yeah, no, I'd like. It would win something like that, but not game. Yeah, it can't even go in the top 10 for me. You know what I'm like. Old game's old, and you're right. I didn't say Blueprints because I just haven't, but Blueprints are definitely on there. Game Pass is stacked right now with like Rematch, FCB, Firebreak, which I haven't tried out yet. The Alters. There's so much.
Completely didn't talk about it. Slipped my mind. I've been playing FBC Firebreak.
Oh.
I don't think we need to stream it.
Just to let everybody know, I did get my copy of Gears of War Ultimate Edition digital code thing, just so people are aware. Okay. I just found out myself. I logged back into my Game Pass.
Okay,
so there you go.
You got in.
I'm back in. But yeah, appreciate the questions. Thank you everyone for watching. Let's plug and get ourselves out of here. Chris, what you got to plug this week?
I was going to plug podcast, but there's no podcast review since April 1st, and that feels like I'm just pranking myself every time I bring it up. This week, not podcast. If we were to do something different for Game of the Year, what would be categories you guys would want for some of those games? And don't... Origin Cookie Man, I'm looking at you. You do some weird categories sometimes. I want it to be like more standard categories. What would be stuff that you guys would really be interested in for that sort of thing?
I think that's a whole separate episode. Like, to me, I don't want to get rid of our argument episode of the top 10.
Sure.
I think that has to stay, but I'd love maybe the week of the Game Awards, like before, so like January.
So
thing. Yeah, go on.
The way I in my mind, the way we would do it, and we can like sort of pick our brains about it more, would be like the four of us, Matt included, get a vote on it, and the community gets a vote, and then overall, whatever wins that overall bit wins and we go category through category and pick a game that way. That is very like, it's a My Xbox and Me award show. It's not like what we think, or it's not like our personal opinions on what we think all the best, but it's an MXAM award show.
I like it. We're all gonna hate each other at the end of it. I like it.
Still, yeah, we're still gonna hate each other by the end of it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wouldn't be an award show otherwise.
Exactly. All right, Deesman, we got to plug.
YouTube. Let's keep the YouTube train going. Come check out my arms. My camera only died twice today, so that's nice. So yeah, come and check that out. Just come and check out the YouTube. Come and hang out in the comments. Leave all the comments. I always like going in and reading the comments. Only delete the really nasty ones. But youtube.com/currently My Xbox and Me still.
Bro, honestly, I'm having fights with YouTube right now. There's a channel that has MXAM official, but they haven't uploaded in like 10 months or something stupid. So we're still waiting. Yeah. Is what it is. Go follow us on the socials. MXAM official. The editor's been chomping at the bit for me to send him stuff, so I'll send him this episode with the time code so we can get some clips out like we did beforehand, which will be nice. So yeah, please go support the socials. It helps a bunch. And again, as always, if you have the means, patreon.com/MCFixer. We will update the Patreon producer list because I know that got added. There's a new Patreon producer, so I'll sort that out, send it over to Despawn. Maybe not for this episode, but for next one, but I'll get you on the back date for the ones we've missed. I do apologize. Thank you for the support and keep supporting. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, love you, leave you, see you later. God damn, it's hot in here. Bye.